We got a very sketchy job today of lifting this unit onto the roof with this gigantic crane. Probably too big for the job, but it's better for it to be bigger than smaller, right? It's already running, not connected. Windy day as well, so it's not great for lifting big heavy items. Which one's what?
That one's red.
Too windy? It's too windy to lift apparently. This precision. You can keep going. Yeah, that's in. That's in. That was so easy. Using a crane to lift this unit here took half an hour, including setting up the crane and packing it up. I should have been doing it, on all the other jobs where we were using sketchy genie lifts to lift heat pumps to, roofs or walls. So this is a period property, solid walls, no insulation, just loft insulation, double glazing, no insulation in the floors. Heat loss, 10.5 kilowatts. We designed it to 50 degrees flow, which is quite a high design for us. And it still requires pretty sizable radiators. In the bay windows, we've got K3 curved radiators, which I actually didn't know was possible till I saw those. Customer found a company that did that for him. And the way they do it, they take a regular K3 rod, they disassemble it. I don't know how they do it. They bend all the individual panels and then they weld them together again and spray the radiators again. Very labor intensive and also very expensive process. I think it costs around £2,000 to £2,500 per radiator to have this done. Don't remember if it's plus the cost of the radiator or does it include the radiator, but yeah, over £2,000 per rod. That's quite a bit of money. This is a bathroom on the first floor, and that little roof where the heat pump is exactly on the other side of this wall. So we're gonna be taking this cylinder out, coring through that wall to get our primary pipework in. And initially I thought we'll put internal unit for the Viessmann in here and the cylinder in the loft. But then I decided, well, let's give them space in the bathroom for joinery, for storage. We'll just take all the pipes to the loft, flow and return, primary flow return from the heat pump, and then back down. So with those bigger units, you've got high flow rates, up to 2,000 liters per hour. And they do require, upsizing the pipework or putting separations. So you've got another circulator taking care just of the system. In this instance, we chose to upgrade the pipework. We're going to run 35 mil copper to the loft and then back 35 mil as well, reducing to 28 mil somewhere here and then 28 mil where it splits to two ways on this floor and then 22 mil from 28 mil T downstairs. That's where the plant room is going to be. And I'm going to leave Marie to build the plant room here and run pipework from here back downstairs, and Marian will take care of pipework, upgrading it on the floor below, while I'll have to go to another job and fix some non-working radiators. We've did a full retrofit and repiped everything, and we've got some issues, so that has to be resolved today. So we're back to a job we finished last week because we disconnected two rods while we were doing the job, connecting to pipework inside. Reason being, large house, all piped by the builders in plastic PEX push fit. So yeah, they did some silly stuff there. Anyway, it's connected now and working, and you're probably looking at it and see a buffer, which is highly unusual for us. This job needed a buffer. It really needs a buffer because the pressure loss on plastic pipework on this large 300 square meters property is tremendous. We've got quite a sizable pump on the system as well. We could not have made it work with a 12 kilowatt heat pump otherwise, but if you see it, it's a two-pipe buffer. So again, a bit unusual when it's only two connections on it with enlarged T's, and that allows you to prevent distortion much better than a four-pipe setup. So yeah, research three-pipe or two-pipe buffers if you have to use a buffer. Heat loss, well over 10 kilowatts, and the unit we installed is a 12 kilowatt heat pump. We're just demineralizing the system using a liter demineralizer, Purofil, to VDI standard. And then, yeah, commission it, explain to the customer how to use it, and we back to the other side with the Viessmann. We're back on site and it's really busy. Electricians are here. 2 guys, Marie, Marian, Emmanuel, 5 plus me, it's gonna be 6 people. So let's see what Marie has done in the loft while we were on the other job. Right, let's have a look in the loft. Who we got here? Ben. Marie hanging the expansion vessel. Emmanuel taking out the cold water storage cisterns. Electricians messing with our pipe work. And that's the full plant room done. Marie's done beautiful work on very nice offset. That's 28 mil copper bent on electric bender. Nice bending on 22 going to the cylinder as well. Electricians have finished the work as well. The way we like to do it with electrics is to move our subboard with correct types RCDs, correct type MCBs next to where the plant room is. Just makes, you know, work a bit easier because it's just one bigger wire going all the way to here. And we've got tons of 35 mil copper coming from the heat pump to here and then back to the heating system. That reduces to 28 mil on the floor below. And if you're interested in pipe sizing or system design, you know, how to calculate the pipe sizes, how to calculate radiator sizes, and how this system was designed, I'm gonna leave a link to full files for this very system design below this video. So yeah, download the files, study them, learn from it. We've got heating running now because Marie's been demineralizing the system and we're using a thermal camera to see if we've got decent circulation, you know, if all the rats are heating up.
So for the customer and for our personal checking, we're using the thermal camera so we can see the temperature of the radiators. I've gone around every single one and taken a photo so we can send it to the customer. And they all are getting to about 40 degrees. That's upstairs and downstairs. So it's looking like it should.
That's where the cylinder used to be. We obviously moved it upstairs, but we've got all this pipe work, you know, primary pipe work from the heat pump, fill and flush valve, strainer, isolating valve for the heat pump, filling loop with a demineralizing top-up unit. So if they have to change a rat or top up the system a little bit, it gets demineralized water, and upstairs is now done as well. The reason why this unit had to go on the roof is that there's no good location down here. There's conservatory here, so we couldn't run pipe work in any feasible way through here. If we put the unit on this side, the shed would have to go, and then we would have to run exposed pipe work on the fence and take it up before we can cross the path because there is drainage, so we can't take it underground. You can't put it under a kitchen window because it's too tall, and even if you could, the pipework would go probably on the left side on the window and then over the roof. Nothing would have looked good. So decision was made to put that unit there. And it actually fits quite nicely because this is a little indent into the house. That hides it, right? There are some issues with that though. It seems that independent installers like us don't have a problem working on a flat roof, climbing a ladder or putting a unit on the wall. The problem is with all the big companies, all the suppliers of the kit. None of them want to service the units. None of them want to take responsibility for their employees or engineers climbing a ladder that has 3 more steps. Something amazing happens to engineers when they work for themselves and then they work for corporate entity. They basically choose to do the least possible amount of work. They don't seem to really care. And the companies take the safety precautions of not taking any risks whatsoever. So I'm not quite sure how this is going to be resolved because we will have to install those units quite often in location similar to this one where you will have to climb a few steps on a ladder. And how it's gonna get resolved, I don't know. Some of the companies we work with have agreed to still come to warranty callouts as long as we do the work. They stay on the ground and they pass us the bits. We diagnose it for them. We tell them, what we need. Will it change? Well, probably the first company to change those rules will sell more units. So yeah, maybe guys think about it.